What's going on? It's Justeeni here, and today I've got some content of all time. This is some footage from the Bullet Grand Finals for March thingy. I don't remember exactly what it was about, but I was in it, so that's really what's important. So I'm going against Reaper, who you might remember. He's an extremely talented player and a very good Bullet player as well, and I was like extremely nervous for this set, I'm not gonna lie. Because I figure I'm just going to get destroyed. But first game, though, with Simanti, I'm not hosting, but the way that Bullet works, the hosting player has to skip their first turn, so they don't actually get a huge advantage. And I have a Lighthouse spawn, and they don't. So I actually have arguably the spawn advantage here. So let's see how things pan out. So naturally you get the Explorer. It kind of goes off to the side, but it just barely finds Reaper, which is perfect. And then at this point, I can make a warrior, grab this village. We both kind of do the same thing. And yeah, I get my very early level 3 thanks to me being a little closer to the lighthouse. And you can actually see they haven't gotten the spore. They're still at level 2, and that will be important later. So I just get rioting, pre-cap. I could get hunting to go more economic, but that would be an absolutely terrible idea, and I would lose the game on the spot because their hexapods would take over the map and I'd lose the game. And I don't really want to do that. I'd rather not lose the game. I get a pop ruins, which is amazing here because now I'm one population from a centipede, which that's why I save these stars ready for next turn. They go here because they didn't have vision on what was on the city. It could have been a hexapod, could have been nothing, but it was a warrior, unfortunately. Then you can see they don't train anything here because they're pop capped. And at this point, they're just completely screwed. Extremely fast game 1. But yeah, that's just how things go sometimes. I had a lighthouse spawn and it just took one mistake for things to completely crumble. So now on the game 2. Alright, so probably the reason a lot of you clicked on this video. Yes, this is actually what happened. I was hosting, and this was my spawn. I think the reaction that the commentators had was absolutely appropriate, and I'll put the video of that in the description. You should absolutely watch it. I think it's very nice and insightful to get their perspective on this set as well. But yeah, this is my spawn I have to work with. Not only 7 farms, but I'm also close to the lighthouse, so I can actually get the easy level 3, which means my first giant is dirt cheap. No techs required, and I'm getting it extremely fast. You're gonna see what I mean. This spawn is disgusting. I don't think I should have to explain a whole lot, but I will kind of explain some of these moves because how I like to play when I'm at an advantage is very particular. You see, I'm very conservative. I'm not exploring out there. I see this one village. I'm just going to stick to 2 cities until I get my giants rolling and just play things very safe. There's no reason to confront the opponent because, why risk anything here? I'm going to play things as safe as possible so then Reaper doesn't have any outs. He captures the city here, which unfortunately for him means he's going to be losing that city very quickly. And this Explorer meets him, of course. But also, very importantly, it snags this lighthouse up here. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Well, that's only 1 population. That doesn't mean anything. But it does matter if I just get 1 more lighthouse because then I place 2 farms and get another giant. I also can level this up. I go for the ruins, and I go up here. This is kind of like a triple purpose move. I can either go to the village, I can go to the ruins, or I can go to the lighthouse. All of those are options, and they also take the exact same amount of time to go to all of them. And maybe you can guess what I'm going to do, maybe not. I will say my plan was actually to just go for the lighthouse. I think it makes the most sense, just get the giant. It's guaranteed, it's reliable, it's going to be hard to fight for this village. This ruins is also hard to fight for, and it might not give me something I actually want. So Lighthouse makes the most sense. But then, of course, instead I get an Explorer from Ruins. Usually Explorer Ruins suck, but in this case it's amazing because it reveals this Lighthouse without me having to do anything, which means I am getting a second Giant on turn 6. I also just get some good information in general to know that there are only 3 cities on this map, and that effectively I'm going to be playing a 3-on-2 at worst, and possibly just outright steamrolling the opponent. But Reaper gets a Pop Ruins, so he actually gets a Giant of his own, also extremely early, but even his early Giant is just no match for this. I get Construction Pre-Cap, I might end up this level 4 Windmill spot, and from here I basically just tell Reaper, you gotta do something here, because like he's able to defend everything just fine. He actually gets it's Eye of God. Yeah, he got all the lighthouses, so he's actually got the same amount of Giants as me, and I actually cannot effectively attack him. I try to pressure him here a bit just to prevent him from being able to attack me, really. Just keep him stuck. I'm setting up another Giant with roads. He snags this Ruins here, which I can't really do much about. I also don't care about it. Like, it just happens. He also gets Archers, which is a little weird. It's like gonna kick me out, but he's not gonna be able to make much offensive progress with Archers. And he gets this Border Growth, which is actually really good here. It takes some space, and I wanted to get a Border Growth too. Thing is, I was gonna do it on this turn. I still am gonna do the Border Growth, but it hurts a little bit that things went that way. I also get I have got myself by uncovering the last lighthouse, and yeah, I just use that, get a Border Growth, because yeah, the point of the Border Growth is not just to get more Giants, but it's also to restrict any road plays and just make things harder for Reaper to somehow win. So yeah, and he advances on the mountain. I say no, you're not allowed to. I just throw all these Giants here. He just doesn't have any way of breaking through, and I'm, again, just saying, I'm up in cities, I'm up in eco, do something about it. And whenever he tries to do something about it, I just say, no, you can't do that, do something else. And then I just get trade, which is just rubbing salt in the wound. It's only 4-star per turn. The ROI on it is 4 turns? No, 5 turns, because this is 18. 13 for the tech and then that. So it's 5-turn return on investment. But time is my best friend here, because, like, again, he is not set up to attack. So this is probably just going to pay off, and that's going to be that. I also have a second market spot if I really want to, but I don't really care for that. And I'm just, again, setting everything up defensively. We see the Knight from Reaper. You know, maybe they can get a chain, except I'm not going to give them a chain. I'm just going to space all my units properly and make 2 Knights of my own. Then Reaper, under a lot of time pressure, gives me a chain, instantly resigns. And that is game 2 with, again, one of the most disgusting spawns I think I've ever seen. Really just, that's been this entire set so far. This is the best 3 out of 5, by the way, and 2 of them have just been disgusting spawns. But the last game, stick around for that, because this is where things actually get, like, good. Instead of just I spawn win and that's it, things actually get a little crazy. So let's cut to that one. All right, so final one. This time it's IMO, and the thing is with IMO is it's very, very skill based. And also, if you guys remember, the last time I did a bullet tournament, I did a IMO game and I lost because I didn't know what I was doing. But this time I do know what I'm doing. I know how to approach this, and I've got a game plan coming into this, which is always a good thing. And the game plan, of course, is get archery, because archery is really good with IMO. And yeah, so I just kind of go about things. My spawn this time, in stark contrast to the other ones, the spawn's actually pretty awful. Look at these mountains, and also, I don't find my village, I find Reaper right away. Which, it does help me level up sooner, so there is that upside, but not ideal. I find a Ruins, though, and then he steps on it, but that's actually good for me. Why is that good for me? Here's why it's good for me. Is because this ruins is on a forest tile. It's a little tricky to tell, but yes, it's on a forest tile. And I'm about to have enough stars to get archery and an archer next turn. There is one downside to this though. Because yeah, I'm going to take this, get archery, and again, he only has a level 2 capital, I know for a fact, which means he only has at most 2 units. He cannot kick me off this ruins. The downside is, I just reset my pacifist. I'm not getting Altar of Peace anymore. I was really hoping for it, so then I could get a second archer from my capital, and also get climbing, because I'd get plenty of stars from upgrading my city. But things don't always go to plan. Instead, I'm taking the ruins from him, and hoping that it's worth it. Because the thing is, if he keeps the ruins, we both get Altar of Peace, but he gets a ruins, and I don't get a ruin. So I think it is ultimately worth it, and I get a resource ruins, which is really nice. I get climbing, so yeah, now my spawn feels a lot less bad because I can actually go on the mountains. But yeah, they've got archery of their own, they know what they're doing. I pew the warrior and heal this. I'm expecting my units to die, but I'm ultimately okay with that. I need to be able to train more archers, so I just want to buy some time here. And that's kind of exactly what happens. This archer manages to survive, and then I can train another archer. I get forestry pre-cap. I'm able to upgrade, and then once again, I get some disgusting luck. This seems to just be a theme with this, like, this set, honestly. I just get super lucky. And yeah, I managed to upgrade my capital because I found 2 lighthouses off 1 explorer. Then my economy's doing really well. And also, look at this village density. So yeah, we're going to be competing for this village, but we both have archers, so neither of us can actually settle on the city, and neither of us have giants, so we really can't settle on the city. But look at his density, and then look at my density. Now, there were mountains in between, but now that I've got climbing, it no longer matters. Yeah, my cities are just right next to each other. His are as far apart as they, like, literally as far apart as they can possibly be. It does not get worse than that. And yeah, he just develops. I just spam archers. He spams archers. And he's playing very oddly passive with his archers. He gets a border growth on his capital. I get that lighthouse. Then math. I use that to get a border growth. Boom. And I'm looking towards getting giants of my own. I suspect he's got some. And, whoa. What the heck? Yeah, I just got my pacifist monument. You know, the one that I just gave up early on? Yeah, we were at peace with each other for so long. We were just not attacking, and I was able to snag it on the end of turn 11. And yeah, now I'm no longer down a monument, and I've just got really good initiative. And I do this archer move here because I was worried about knights. So, because I looked at a score, I'm like, wait, it is really high. Which there's a few reasons for that. First off, like philosophy plus tech spam, but like what techs? He doesn't have like mining. I don't think he has math, because he would be like spamming giants and stuff. He probably has either chivalry or diplomacy, and I was worried about chivalry mostly because I have a ton of archers, and if they're all lined up, he just chains them all, wins the game, and that's that. I don't want that to happen, so I space this archer here. So now there are no good chains. Like there's this one, but that's only okay. It's not gonna like, I'm not gonna lose the game if he does that. I'm like, it's okay for me. But yeah, I get another giant. And yeah, I even like break that up too. Like there are no good chains. So I'm playing around any and all knights. I throw down my monuments, and now I've got 3 giants, which is pretty good. And this third one can even look towards settling on this city, and then I'm up in cities. I should win the game, but things are going to get interesting. First off, there's nothing on his capital. His giant's sitting here, which I suppose it makes sense. He doesn't want to confront my archers. But because I didn't have vision on this capital for so long, and he had all those points, yeah, things might be a little scary. I move my archer here, and you can see it detects a cloak nearby. And I don't know where that cloak is, actually. I was hoping and praying that the cloak was right here, and that's why I block with the giant, because if it is here, he can only infiltrate on this square, and if I block it, I'm good to go. And where else could the cloak be? Well, it could also be right here, and if it's there, guess what? I can't do anything about that. Actually, could I have done something about that? Well, I would have had to know that the cloak could... Actually, no, I could have. Wait. Oh, I actually... Yeah, I didn't even realize. No. If I just move like this, he can't cloak me. Oh, but that only works if the cloak isn't here. And that's why I moved this archer up, is to see if the cloak was there, which was kind of... Actually, no, there was a point to it, because if I move like the archer here... I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but this is actually really interesting. So I don't think I had a way of perfectly predicting and defending the cloak. Hold on, I had this giant here. And I could have been able to tell, oh, no matter where... Oh my goodness, I could have defended the cloak. Okay, my excuse is that it was a live game, and it's hard to have this kind of forward thinking. Oh my goodness, though. I totally missed that. Yeah, instead I moved like this, because I was too worried about trying to know where the cloak was, and not worried enough about actually defending it, which now I might get cloaked if the cloak is right here, which, yeah, it's only one of these two squares. I could be in serious trouble. The city is really high level, so I train a catapult, get ready to defend, and yep, sure enough, he even gets the lighthouse. And he also starts pressuring. Makes sense, really good time to pressure because he's got the daggers going, but I'm actually just able to defend. And he can't get any more cloaks because now I have vision on his capital. If he trains a cloak, I'm just going to buy riding and roads and then just snipe it. So the dust kind of settles, but then he gets another giant off of lighthouse there, which gives him Eye of God as well. And then another cloak here. Oh, I can't do anything about that one. So that's going to be a problem. Except I can do something about it. I get riding. He moves his cloak away. And then at this point, right here, I can find his cloak this turn. Because I can do a little bit of reasoning here. I suspect that he wants to target one of these cities. And if he moves it like in the back, I don't care because it's going to just take way too long to get to my capital. I'm more worried if he's putting it up in the front lines, because then it's going to reach my other cities sooner. And what you're about to see is how I figure out exactly where the cloak is and reveal it too. Because in this position, if he put his cloak on the front lines anywhere, I can actually tell exactly where it is. So I buy roads, and I move my archer like this. It sees a cloak. Then I move my rider like this, also sees a cloak. Well, that means it can be here or here, right? Except we can pretty obviously eliminate this. It's definitely not this or this because the cloak couldn't move there. It only had one move, which means it's here. So easily narrowing it down. And yeah, now I kill that. I also miss a siege opportunity. If I rode in another archer, I think I need to place 2 roads to do it, but it is worth it because I'm pop capped anyway. I can actually kill this warrior and then just siege. There's no terrain blockers. But I revealed the cloak. And yeah, I just wasn't thinking about it, but like there were some missed opportunities this game, but I am definitely winning at this point because my cities are really developed. I have a lot of units. Like I'm literally pop capped in my more developed cities, so I have more units than him for sure. And he's doing a really good job playing to his outs. Like cloaks were definitely the right play. And he even managed to connect one. And he even goes for the siege. He continues to pressure like crazy. But I get this city and it's all over. I even get an explorer so I can get another monument. And yeah. I'm able to pressure his capital. Place down my Eye of God. Place down my Gate of Power. Border growth. And just get another giant. And after a long battle, really well fought. Like as soon as Reaper had like a playable spawn, he gives me an extremely hard time and really plays to his outs. Yeah, look at the disbanding giant plays. I don't know if they were actually good, but they were very snazzy. And yeah, I'm just gonna I even block, like I'm not giving Reaper any outs. That's just how I like to play. Like if I'm winning, my goal is to prevent you from doing anything, not to actually win. But yeah, I don't find where his cloak is, so I suspect it's like right here or something where I can't get it. So in order to defend this one last cloak, all I need to do is block all the possible tiles where he can infiltrate, and that's it. And yeah, good games. Maybe not the most quality games ever because I got better spawns in every single one of them. It was just this one. It was the closest thing Reaper had to an even spawn this entire tournament, but serious props to Reaper though. He's definitely a better player than me, but I kind of got lucky. Again though, hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.